Good afternoon. I'm Greg Lassiter. This is 30 Frames a Second. We're back from the 4th of July holidays and we have a great show for you. Summer in New York City. So don't touch that dial. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. great Nat Wood.
How to adjust your television set? You are fortunate enough to have tuned in to 30 frames a second.
You have spun that into the fact where the victim is now the perpetrator and the perpetrator is now the victim. And that just drives me crazy.
That was shot with the director and the creator of the show, Nat Wood, on the Lower East Side at the Lasada Festival. But who's my host today? No other than himself. Nat, what's up, man?
Hey, brother, how you doing?
Welcome back, man. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a while.
Nat, there's nothing like summer in New York City.
That is correct. That is correct.
And I got to tell you, everybody, like summer in New York City is unlike summer anywhere else. Anywhere else in the world.
Right.
And like, the Lower East Side's doing it. The other day, Sunday, I was at the Old Timers Festival.
I know.
I mean,
which was part of my inspiration for, because you were like showing the pictures from the festival
right.
on 111th Street,
Right.
and you were sharing them on Facebook.
Right.
And so I was like, you know, it's right after the 4th of July. We're back. It's summer in the city.
And let me tell you, Nat. If you've never, people listen, if you've never experienced a summer in New York City and you're going to take one vacation a year, do it in New York City, because there's something to do in New York 5 days, 7 days a week.
Right.
And it's free.
Right.
It doesn't cost anything.
Well, that's the thing, and you gotta be careful with this.
Yeah, see that going back and forth, right?
One of the things about New York is you'll find that nothing's actually on the level.
No, right. That's exactly right. Everything is kind of tilted because of the humidity, right?
So the table is wobbling a little bit.
Right.
You know, so we can't really touch it. I'm gonna say
right. Okay, there you go. I'll just hold it down.
Yeah, hold it down.
The table, everything shakes. Everything shakes.
Right. But one of the things I wanted to show in the video, and the video actually tells a story if you check it out.
Yes.
By the way, the group that was playing is a group called Super Mambo.
Guys are awesome.
And they're an awesome group.
Yeah.
They're an awesome group. I shot that handheld from the crowd, not even from press row. I just sort of walked up on it and shot it.
That was crazy because when I was shooting, when I shot the video of up at the 111th, I did the Nat Wood, like the whole, looked like a pan.
Yeah.
I'm like, who's that? Somebody said, was that on a tripod? No, that Nat Wood taught me that.
No,
handheld.
We shoot for television, so it has to be, everything has to be right. It has to be perfect. Because one thing my grandmother taught me, my grandmother was one of the original Silver Bells, one of the original dancers at the Apollo Theater. As a matter of fact, she danced at the Apollo before it was called the Apollo.
Right. I
when it was called the New Burlesque Theater.
Right.
In 1928. It didn't become the Apollo until 1934.
Right.
But she taught me to value your audience more than anything else. Value the people who come to either see you or watch what you do or appreciate what you do.
That's good.
So we try to make it.
We don't try.
Yeah,
we do.
We worked to make it happen.
And I tell you, Nat, we could. You know what? The other day, I was home. That Sunday morning, I walked from the Lower East Side to the Upper East Side.
Right.
And people think it's about almost at least 100 blocks, almost 100 blocks.
Right.
And you would think that's a lot. But in New York City,
New
it's
York
not.
is a beautiful place to walk.
Just walk around.
And in the video, you saw all the different blocks. You saw little streets and whatnot.
It's sweet.
They're gorgeous places to walk, to enjoy. The people dancing in the street.
I don't know
dancing
how
with your lady.
I don't know how you got that shot with the brother. With the music, that was a great shot. He was doing his thing.
I walked up on him. It was in the whole festival thing, and I walked up on him, and he was doing his thing. So I caught him.
But was he doing that to that music, or you just synced it?
I kind of synced it.
That was actually
But it was actually the same event, but he had his own thing going on.
But New York, we have a lot going on in the city, though. We do have a lot going on in the city, and de Blasio.
Oh, de Blasio.
That's the mayor of New York, if you guys don't know. Bill de Blasio.
There's a lot of things going on. First of all, I want to say happy birthday to former Mayor David Dinkins.
Yes,
he just turned 90.
Yes. As well, I want to say a happy birthday to a great legend, Arthur Ashe. His birthday was yesterday. Yes.
Yeah,
and Arthur Ashe inspired me to play tennis in college. So, as growing up as in college.
Well, he actually changed the game. You can debate about greatest of all time.
Yeah, right.
But in terms of opening the doors for black tennis players,
he definitely did.
There would be no Serena without Arthur Ashe.
He was a pioneer.
Arthur Ashe, and what was the woman? Oh man, you
know what I'm talking about. I know. I can't even think of her name. Althea Gibson.
Right,
that's right. Oh, good.
Hey, listen.
People would have got us on that.
I know. They'd have had a fit. I didn't remember the woman.
But you know what, guys? I also want to thank a lot of people. Just everybody who watches us on a daily basis.
Right.
We truly appreciate you all watching us.
Right.
I just on my way to the studio today, 5 people stopped me and said, "We do a great show, and they look forward to seeing us on TV." So the other people that are watching us right now that ran into me today, we appreciate you, and we also appreciate the viewers watching us.
We do, and we're gonna strive to do to bring more and more and more of you to the forefront. It's good to draw attention to a lot of things, and we're going to draw attention to a few things now.
Right.
But it's no secret that certain there has been institutionalized racism that the government has historically not been a friend to black people.
Right.
It is not news that the police, we have an adversarial
police
relationship with a lot of white America, and some of those biases make their way into the police department.
That's right.
I also want to give my condolences to the family of the slain police officer.
Right.
They're having their funeral today. One of the problems that we have in this country is the fact that we have become a very violent, gun nut society. And a lot of people think that the only solution to anything is through violence and through guns.
And you are absolutely right. Here's the thing with that I give my condolences to the family of the slain police officer. But the gentleman who shot her, actually I've seen a guy around my neighborhood a few times. He definitely had mental issues.
See, thank you for that.
Thank you
for that, because there's so many problems within the problems. That while you're hooked up on hunkering down on one side or the other, you forget that there's a lot of issues
that goes into the
correct.
And that
he did have mental issues.
He had some serious issues.
Extreme mental issues.
The day before, he was in St. Barnabas Hospital in the Bronx because of his psychosis of wanting to hurt policemen. And we have a mental problem. We have our society in general. We forget about the mentally
We don't
unstable.
forget about them.
We just don't care.
We don't care. We don't care. And now that we have fought so hard to bring this belligerent robber baron of a president and hunker behind him, and all the venom and the out and out racial
straight racism
is just front and center. People are free to say how they really feel.
And be insulted about it.
But they're affecting public policy. And public policy should affect people's lives in a way that gets them from that hedonistic debauch point that they came from, and sort of move into the future. It's not. We're going ass backwards.
But you know what? It can't stay like that because it's a boiling, and the pot's about to boil over.
Right.
Either the system will change, or we will change the system. The people will change the system. But the tolerance that America has for 45. It just brings out that. It brings the racism that we already knew become blatant.
Correct. And they use catchwords. They use little catchphrases like law and order, which is really like catchphrases for get the blacks.
Yes, right.
You know.
That's exactly right.
The blacks are not worthy. You got to put your foot down on the blacks.
Oppress the blacks more so than the blacks are already oppressed.
Correct.
You know, we see it on a daily basis. I don't experience it as much as I see it to correct it. In New York City, it happens. In New York City it's really a horse of another color because the racism exists, but we tend to stay in our own neighborhoods.
Well,
You see what I'm saying? Like you live on the Lower East Side.
The Lower East Side.
I live on the Upper East Side. We don't wander. Very few people wander out the neighborhood. We do because we like experiencing the whole city. But for the most part, people stay where they live. Unlike anywhere else in the country. You know, like these little towns like Ferguson and all these little country towns where, you know, it's them against us. You know, it's the policemen against the blacks. And I also say to the all black towns that you have to be, in order to somewhat stop it, you have to be a part of your community. If you have a 70% African American town, then a majority should be on the police force, should be in City Hall, should be mayor, because see what happens when something goes down, like a white police officer unjustifiably shoots a black person, it first goes to the grand jury. The grand jury is made up of the people in the town. Now, if you're not registered to vote, then you have no say. Do you see what I'm saying? Because the people, if you're registered to vote, you'll be called to be on a jury or a grand jury. But if you got...
You're messing up my edit.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You're making my edit harder.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. But,
and I shouldn't have cut you off because you're really on a roll. You said so many things that we need to address because it's front and center to everything we're talking about. I want to go back to the video that we shot because there was a lot of things in the video.
It told the story.
Not only it told the story. There was one clip in the video that happened on 116th Street. It was right next to Canaan Baptist Church on 116th Street. And the shot, it was hard to notice. But there was this tall building, that said PURGE on it.
I remember
it's Harlem,
That's right.
There's also a shot of the Google building going up to the sky with a flag floating on it.
That was a great shot. I was wondering if anybody caught that. You know, this was the second. I caught it the second time. I caught it when it was live, when we were watching it. But the first time, I'm like, this is a story. It's very telling. You know. People subconsciously, Nad.
What we are confronting, because they use the word gentrification. Gentrification comes from the word gentry, which is the lords. In feudal existence, the lords and the Dutch, the duchesses and all that was the gentry. Ergo, the word gentrification. It's not the people. It's not the people stealing the king's rabbit. You know, it's not the serfs. It's the lords. And we have come to a time where you have a lot of what are tantamount to feudal serfs siding with robber barons against other poor people.
Excuse me for cutting you off on that. That blows my mind.
Yeah.
That blows my mind. That doesn't even make sense to me. You know?
Yeah. Well, it shouldn't make sense to them, but this is what's happened. Poor people have been backed into a corner so tightly that there generally tends to be one of two responses to the situation. Either they identify with and protect the robber baron, aka Trump supporters, or they acquiesce to the inevitability of their situation and say there's nothing that they can do about it.
Yeah, so the status quo.
Correct. We have allowed this system to rob from us our birthright and our destiny.
Right.
And we believe that the only thing we can do is argue back with white folks that don't love us.
Right.
I don't know how that's going to change them.
It's not going to change anything.
We have gone from a people who actually shaped the world.
That's right.
Shaped the world through our art, through our culture, globally.
Right.
To a place where we are defending the N-word.
Right. That right
we
there,
have become literally the bastions of the least common denominator.
Right.
And it's all because we are trying to
assimilate.
Yes. I like to say. I like to put it this way. I'm a free bird,
right.
and I'll gravitate toward a birdhouse.
Right.
But there's a difference between longing for freedom, to being a free bird,
right,
and just wanting a gilded cage.
Right. That's very well put. That's very well put.
Most of us just want a gilded cage,
right? And be okay.
Correct.
I never was like that. I never was
either. I never knew how to be. But I was raised to be a free bird.
Right. So was I. But and we're going backwards, Nat.
Right.
It's going backwards. And I tell, like, we become so not irrelevant.
Correct.
You know, it used to be.
Correct.
We come from great kings and queens, and
correct.
we come from history.
Correct.
We come from brilliant people.
Right.
But because of dumbing down, wanting to get that attaboy,
right,
that we're not even relevant anymore.
Right.
You know, nobody cares if and this is society sees us like this, Nat. If you're going to degrade yourself and use that word that was created by white people in a derogatory sense,
and let me say this, because people talk about the relationship of hip hop and whether it's bad or not. First of all, this is not hip hop. This is rap.
Right.
And it's true. Hip hop came from the urban experience and the black community.
Right. That's correct.
This is rap.
Right.
And although its roots came from the black community, this is shaped by corporate white people.
That's exactly right. Because not to cut you off again, but here's the thing. Rap was shaped by corporate white America.
Correct.
Because by using the N-word, degrading women, that says, okay, that's that Willie Lynch syndrome. That's been used over and over again.
That is correct. If you remember, when Bill Maher did his little thing, and Ice Cube was on there, and I thought that was the height of hypocrisy.
Right. Oh my
God. Because when Jay-Z and Kanye West was in Paris, and they had the Negroes and the word ain't Negroes in Paris thing. Gwyneth Paltrow, who was with them, tweeted on there, "I'm here with my embarrassed."
That's unacceptable. That is so unacceptable.
But her use of the word was defended by Nas.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It was defended by Russell Simmons, old ass, fat ass Russell Simmons.
Right.
Old ass man, old ass black Jewish man.
Right.
Ice Cube, not Ice Cube, Ice-T, they put him on TV. He chided black people for having the temerity to wish that this woman asked for an apology from this woman for her use of that word and defended the use of that word. These are
but why do but these are young fools, Nat. These are young fools.
Ain't young about Russell Simmons' old ass.
He's older than us. He's about us. He's between me and you.
And he look older than that. I don't know how you could have that much money and look that bad. Well, Donald Trump. It's a waste of good money. You know. But they defended the use of this. Fast forward to 2017, just a few weeks ago. Jay-Z has dropped this album. He's supposed to be this new Negro now, he's sorry for his sins or some old stuff. And, you know.
He had his come to Jesus meeting with himself,
and he got this album with a whole bunch of fours on it.
Right, 444, 44.
It's like a
whatever
phone
that
number.
means, right.
A phone number full of fours. Apparently he has a lyric in there. I have not listened to it because I've moved away from that whole scenario. That whole section of town.
Right.
But apparently he has some sort of lyric in there where he talks, he makes reference to the fact that he says something about I don't know, possession or something is important, but credit is more important. You know, that's how the Jews accumulated all them or something like that.
Right, the real estate and financial aspect of it. Right.
Before he could get, well, he did. I don't know if he said that. I didn't see that, and I never heard it personally.
Right, I didn't hear it personally as well. I read it.
But before he could actually get the words out of his mouth, before he could actually drop it, the Anti-Defamation League was all over him. The ADL was all over him because they said that the statement was anti-Semitic.
But you know what? Okay, guys. You know,
so apparently he only has power over niggas. He has no power over Jews.
But listen,
because they're not having it.
But this is the only thing I have a problem with that. Okay, I live in a Jewish neighborhood.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Right.
I just want the Jews to understand something, and I'm talking to the group. When we disagree with what you believe and what I believe, doesn't make it anti-Semitic. Anti-Semitic is putting you down or saying something.
Well, first of all, the word is a misnomer because Semites are also Arabs.
Right. That's exactly right. Good catch.
So it's not even an adequate portrayal of the word.
Right.
However, I have taken issue with things that black people have done.
Right.
Black males have done.
Right.
Black females have done.
That's
taken issue with some of the things I have personally done.
Like what?
I have taken issue of the things that white people have done.
Right.
And my objective is to create an atmosphere that provides a better life for my children, my grandchildren.
Right. A legacy.
And an opportunity for people to do what they do and make this whole thing a better place.
Right.
If I have stepped on your toe,
right. I'm not sorry.
Your toe shouldn't have been there.
Right. That's exactly why. I'm not even saying I'm sorry.
Right. Because I'm not sorry.
No,
I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry. And what Jay-Z was making reference, and let me say this, Jay-Z got hundreds of millions of dollars. So when he's talking about Jews owning stuff, he's obviously not talking about the butcher shop.
Right. That's right. Exactly right.
He's talking about corporate Jews, Jews with a whole lot of money.
Right.
And
not the rich, but the wealthy Jews.
Jay-Z, I gotta tell you, good credit didn't get you $100 million.
No, it didn't. No, it didn't.
Whatever move you made, it had nothing to do with how your credit rating.
Nothing to do with your 850.
That's right.
Your FICA wasn't.
That's right. Your FICA
did not get you $100 million.
Your FICA score ain't gonna get you $100 million.
90.
Right. It might get you that toy that your kid is bugging you for from Amazon, but it didn't get you $100 million. $100.
See, and that right there, Nat. See, I like you. I moved away from listening to that sect of music.
But why hasn't the Jews that own the record companies clamped down on blacks who continually degrade black people? I mean, since you're so
out there on the Jay-Z front,
that to say anything at all gets this immediate response. How come none of y'all ever gave a rat's ass about us?
You know what, Nat? That is a brilliant statement, because the album has not even been out. But a hot minute. Not even a week. And when it was tweeted about, you know, I was looking at it, was tweeted when I read it on your stand. It was tweeted about so many different ways. And they want him to retract and apologize. And it wasn't. From what I understand, it wasn't a derogatory statement.
So now I'm gonna pose the question: Do any of y'all care about anybody but your damn selves?
Because think about it. And this is a fact. The Jews run the entertainment industry. So when NWA, Nas, and any of those rappers have degraded us black people, treated, you know, using the N-word, treating women like, you know, like other names, you know. Why didn't anybody come to task with that?
And that baloney about they telling their story.
That is not their story.
It might be their story, but it ain't our story. Our story is wide as the ocean. Our story is deep as the ocean.
Our story is not even
that's nothing compared. That's nothing. To our story, that's nothing. That's not even a footnote in our story. This is some crap that you invented recently,
the last 20 years,
that you cultivated from
exploited.
And cultivated and exploited. Cultivated specifically to exploit.
Black people.
Crack addicted latchkey kids.
That's exactly right. But nobody. See, this is what I don't understand. When Jay-Z made this album and he said what he said, why don't people like Jay-Z, Russell Simmons, why don't the Ice Cube, Ice-T, why don't they take corporate white America to task about that?
Why don't you blacken up a little bit and apologize for this crap? Forget about Bill Maher. Bill Maher ain't my brother.
No,
I'm in the Christian Jesus sense, you know. But brother to brother, y'all gotta stop this crap. Y'all, you've made buco money. You're all over TV. You clocking dough hand and foot. It's time to stop pimping out your own people and then telling me that you rich when it's white folks who are giant white corporations who are getting you to spit in the face of your own mother and grandmother to clock dough. Use some of that dough to make a difference.
Now, the reason I got in television, the reason why I got in television is to, once you control the media. You got we can change things. This is why I sit here week after week. This is why you sit here week after week. So when we're on TV, we have the power to affect change. These guys are getting paid millions of dollars. And they will not
tens of millions, sometimes hundreds of millions,
and will not, for once, go against.
You told white people that it's all right for them to call me that. You told white people that.
You sold your soul to the devil. And I'm not saying white people.
You sold my soul to the devil.
I'm not saying
you're selling your soul.
But you sold the whole culture, the whole black people.
And this is the problem. They used to call people like Louis Armstrong sellout because they didn't like his handkerchief or some old crap. You know. But they forever talking about who is sleeping with this one, who is married to that one. You know. and I'm from the East Village. Everybody sleep with everybody.
Right.
And everybody else.
Hippies anyway.
So if
Right.
that gets on your nerves, my neighborhood is really not the place to be. You know,
That's where your neighborhood started off, right?
But the people you mad at, they come out and they holding hands and they've been couples for years
Right.
and years and years.
Yeah. Yep.
And you have slept with everybody in the block and take care of none of your kids.
Right.
They say good morning and you looking to steal somebody's TV,
Right.
talking about you mad at who's sleeping with who
Right,
and who's
right,
zooming
right,
who
right,
and
right,
looking
right.
up under everybody's bed. Ain't nobody up under your bed. And you mad at everybody. You know. But as far as getting back on track to being who we have always been, the overcomers that we
Right.
are,
Right.
we are woefully lax in that aspect of it. And I disagree with people who are always talking about the negative
Right.
in our situation
Right.
without coming up with some solutions
Exactly.
to take us from point A to point B.
But you know what? And that we got to first get over giving other cultures
Correct.
a permission
Correct.
to use.
Correct.
I don't use
The white man don't like me.
They don't like me either.
Trust me. We don't say half the things that
Right.
others do, but we get more resistance.
Yeah, that's exactly
than
right.
any other show you can think of. You ain't never seen 30 Frames in the Filler Block.
Right.
That's right.
Only if they knew,
That's
right?
right. That's right. If y'all
Only if you
knew.
Right.
If y'all knew.
Right,
You ain't nobody said 30 frames, come along here, come along here.
And there's a reason for that.
Right.
Because here's the thing too, Nat. There's a reason why, you know, because we're not.
Not only that, but we out there.
Right.
We have brought footage. We have covered the closed Rikers Island.
Right.
We have covered NYC housing.
Right.
We have covered
Police brutality.
Police brutality.
Right.
We've covered political prisoners.
Right.
We've covered Panthers and
Right.
Panther books.
Right.
We have covered everything all the time.
Right.
As a matter of fact, I got footage last week. We showed week before last
right.
was the last week of Black Music Month.
Right,
and
that's right.
it was also
True.
Women's Takeover.
Right.
We opened with Jasmine Horn,
Right.
who is being touted as the next big thing in jazz,
Right.
singing an a cappella version of Wade in the Water,
Right.
sitting next to the incomparable, legendary Nana Camille Yarbrough. Who
Right.
the hell does that
Nobody.
except us?
Us.
Nobody else.
But see, corporate America is afraid of us. Because you know why?
Right.
Because they can't contain us.
That is correct.
And we won't sell our soul.
That is correct.
See,
That is correct.
You
That is
can't.
correct.
You can't.
That is correct.
You can't control somebody who already
Right,
has something.
right,
You can't
right,
tempt us
right,
with
right,
millions of dollars.
And you can't housebreak a free bird.
Right. You can't.
And I'm not just looking for a gilded cage.
Right.
You can't just put shiny stuff and close the door.
Right.
If you come to my house, it's a tree house.
Right.
There's no walls. It's wide open. It's
right.
a law.
That's right. That's
you
right.
know,
That's
I
right.
don't like being
Right,
caged
right,
in.
right.
I've never liked being
like you.
caged in.
I'm like you, man.
And you can't control a free bird.
Right.
Anyone looking for a gilded cage, anybody looking for a shiny cage, you can just dangle shiny stuff in
And they will
front
come
of
to
them,
you.
and they will come to
And
you.
we'll sell their souls.
And everybody else sold in the vicinity.
And that's what happened.
Right.
You know, and you know what?
Right.
Corporate
Right.
America
Right.
had intent
Right.
to exploit,
Right.
to use
Right.
ourselves against ourselves.
Correct.
You know?
Correct.
And we bought it.
Right. We bought it. We bought it. We bought it. We bought it. We bought it.
And I don't
we
understand.
parried it over and
over
over
again.
and over and
To
over.
the point where
Right.
we believe it.
Correct. Correct.
You know,
correct,
we let corporate America brainwash us, and we brainwash ourselves.
Right. And that's the point. Not only do we believe it, but we use it as a recruiting tool to brainwash everybody else.
And that's insane.
Right.
But you know what? Why?
Right.
They say it's not. See, people think having money gives you a better life.
Right.
But it doesn't.
And let's talk about the mindset of America.
Right.
They just did a study, the Pew Research study we were talking about earlier. Pew Research just did a study. 58% of Republicans.
Right.
That's like
that's
people.
That's
Trump
majority.
voters. Right.
Majority.
Right. The majority,
right.
Almost 60% of Republican voters are against college.
Do you know what?
Against
but
college.
People don't see. Okay, now, as a minority,
right.
As I see it like this, oh well, it's okay not to go to college.
Right.
What they're saying is, we're going to keep your ass dumb. And I don't mean to curse on TV, but when I read that, I'm like, how many of us are going to buy into that?
Right.
That's insane.
And let me make something perfectly clear. Knowledge opens doors for you.
Absolutely.
Everything that has ever happened to me positively is because I have an insatiable drive to learn new things.
Right.
So when you talk about me holding the camera out there, handheld, getting out there, I had to learn that.
Right.
I had to learn how to edit stuff.
Yes, you did, right? We all did,
I am the ultimate autodidact.
Right.
The self-taught Da Vinci.
Right. I'm with you.
Right.
I'm with you.
You know, and it is through learning different things, whatever was available, whatever. I didn't stop at anything. Right.
Make the best of it.
Economics, when economics became available, I learned economics. When I got my hands on musical instruments, I learned how to play some music.
That's exactly right.
That's right.
But see, this is what, you know what, like your grandson, for instance.
Right.
Kid is 18 years old, just graduated from college.
Right.
Brilliant kid.
Right.
He's 18 going on 30.
Right.
You know, because you've taught him, first of all, the kid has self-respect and manners.
Correct.
There you go, right there.
Correct.
And everything. I watched that kid when he was here last summer.
Yeah, that's my man.
Edit music.
That's my man.
He edit, shot, edit, and edit.
Right.
This kid didn't know anything.
Right.
But he left with a wealth of knowledge and skills and some skills.
I wish he wasn't in Virginia because he'd be a monster. He'd be a monster. Oh man, he'd be untouchable.
But see, I
got a picture of him with David Dinkins.
David Dinkins backlash. David Dinkins.
He was wearing the same jacket.
The same suit. That pinstripe.
Seersucker. That's right, seersucker.
This is what I don't want minorities to buy into, that you don't need education.
Right.
Don't buy that.
Right.
That don't buy it. Don't buy into any of that, because that's just, you have to see the bigger picture.
Right.
You know? I had to stop this woman the other day. I have to say this real quick because that's all we're running out of time. People, black people, people of color, brown people, talk to your kids with some respect. Do not talk to your kid like he's a bum on the street. Because that messes with you mentally.
That is correct. When you reinforce that negative, it sticks with you all your life.
Yeah, and it's hard to break out of.
It's almost impossible. I know a lot of young males, black males, you know, I mean, they love their family, and they're doing well now. Some of them went through the prison system. Some of them saw some rough times. I saw them growing up. But the males, by and large, that came through that, who are doing well, it's because they left.
Yeah, they had to leave,
Right, they had to go someplace. They had to go someplace away from the negative,
Right.
so that they could finally learn how to be themselves. And it's not the poverty.
No.
It's the negative.
It's
They
the
didn't
negative,
didn't leave the poverty.
Right.
They left the negativity and was able
It's
to
almost like a rebirth.
Right.
It's a rebirth. It's a rebirth.
I get a guy, my nephew. He comes out of jail. He comes from a completely negative environment, and he still loves his family, but they didn't know any better.
Right,
But now that he has left that, he's become like a computer wizard, and
he's doing something.
He's raising his kids. Right. He's raising his kids. He's proud of his kids. He's always posting pictures of his son. I mean, it's a different mindset, but it was always there. He just needed to get out of that cage.
Because you know
get out of it. You can't gild the cage and free the bird.
You have to break that chain.
Right.
Because if you don't, you emulate what you see.
Correct.
And you know what?
You believe what you hear.
You don't know how
which
many
is
times
more
I've
than
heard
emulating
that,
what you see. You start to believe that you're no damn good.
That's exactly right. I was going to say, if you believe, if you've been brought up to believe, you ain't nothing, your father ain't nothing, that's all. You're going to grow up to be that way. So you have to, somewhere along the line, break that chain, get out of that negative environment. Because once as older you get, and you're not, people don't like change.
And we're losing brilliance. When you talked about the gentleman who shot into the police car and killed the mother, and I'm glad you mentioned the fact that he had severe mental issues. That he the day before, I think it was
in St. Barnabas Hospital.
Right. There's so many issues involved in that. It's healthcare issues. It's the fact that we do not value people who we believe to be less than us in some way.
We just let them fall by the wayside.
This was a cry for help that went unanswered, but it was a cry for help from all of us, not just him. You think that you can bury him, take up a collection with her, and move on.
No,
but his cry is a cry of help from everyone.
That's right.
They are wrestling over healthcare now. They are wrestling over mental issues. They are spitting in the face of education. You got the sign on the building that says "PURGE" in the middle of Harlem.
And Harlem used to be. Black people own Harlem.
Correct.
Everybody over the world knew when you got Harlem, you got progressive, thriving African Americans.
The signs are everywhere. The signs are everywhere.
It's subconscious.
The
subconscious. Because when you start to see something every day, if you internalize it, and people, you know what? You got to see things for what it is.
What they are.
And what they are. I'm sorry, that was incorrect. Well, you got to see things for what they are. But here's the thing. You have to stop. We have to stop, Nat, because I tell these, it's day after day after day. If you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem.
You are the problem.
You are the problem. And this whole mental thing with it doesn't just affect black people. The mental issue started back in Reagan days, Reagan era, where he opened the door 550,000 mental people.
It was also important to open that clip with music and people dancing, all generations. You seen the two chicks dancing together. You seen the two old women dancing together. The guy in the street. So that you can appreciate how beautiful we are, how talented we are, how great our gift is, how they have convinced us that we are just like crabs in a barrel who hate ourselves, when in point of fact we are glorious and talented and beautiful, and until we see it for what it is, we can't do anything about what's coming at us.
And that's what scares me, because it seems like we're getting dumber.
Correct.
We're going back. This is not even
We're fighting to get dumber and dumber.
Yeah, exactly. It's not even a semblance of going back in the 50s, because in the 50s and the 40s,
right. You're not going back to not going back to anything that's ever existed.
Right, because back then, the only thing that held us back was segregation.
Right.
We were smarter than ever.
And they fought that.
Right.
They fought that tooth and nail.
Right.
They built Black Wall Street. They built institutions.
Right.
The first Black Renaissance was really in the early 1800s.
That's right.
In places like Charleston, Charleston, South Carolina.
Yeah.
That's where Denmark Vesey is from.
That's right.
That's where Denmark Vesey is from.
That's right.
The whole black elite, brown elite came out of that area. That's why they ended up murdering him and that many first generation African slaves took. That's where the heroin epidemic came from.
That's exactly right.
To quell black political consciousness, to get us off of our game.
Right, and it ruined us all the way up to the 70s.
Set us back. What has ruined us is our inability to bounce back.
Right.
We have always accepted the fact that we were going against an adversarial foe who had tremendous wealth, power, and weaponry at his disposal, and that in and of itself did not dismay us.
And then we tried to made us try harder.
That is correct. That is correct.
Because we will not be defeated.
That's right. We would not take a knee.
And we didn't.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, you know what?
Right.
The 70s epidemic. You know what's worse than the 70s epidemic?
Correct.
To me, the worst thing that was worse than that epidemic is rap. How corporate America.
This breed of rap is from that 80s, 90s.
Right.
Corporate. Remember, and we only got a couple of minutes, but I want to give you this bit of history. When we talk about the birth of gangster rap, you have to take that to the group NWA.
That's right.
Remember what happened to NWA. They went to who's the little boy with the curly hair?
Eazy-E.
Eazy-E. They go to Eazy-E.
Right.
They cut a deal. Jewish executives go to Eazy-E, cut a deal with Eazy-E,
exactly
and Eazy-E is supposed to bring in the rest of them.
Right, like Snoop Dogg.
Right.
And all that.
He got like 3 out of 4, 4 out of 5. The only one who said nah, I'll go flip burgers was Q.
Right.
So they made the connection with Eazy-E, changed the face of rap, made more money for themselves.
Right.
Basically gave the kids from NWA no damn money.
No, yeah, they got
money.
They got raped.
Right.
They got raped.
Right. But they never had first rule of dealing with the devil: don't.
We got 1 minute, right? That's the first rule of Fight Club. Don't talk about it. Right. First rule of dealing with the devil. Don't deal with it.
Right. But that is the scenario that has brought us to this place. That's why I say it's not just a combination. It's not just crack. Crack addicted kids. Right. It's the fact that they flooded the community with guns and crack, machine guns and crack. Just gave it to them.
AK-47s.
Right. Change the nature of music, the art that they put out, and force their parents to work all day to make latchkey kids out of them. This was a meticulous attack, and until we see it for what it is and get back to being who we are destined to be.
Okay, look. Remember this.
Right.
Shoot for the moon, guys. If you miss, you're still among the stars. Thank you for watching 30 Frames a Second. We'll be back next week, live, uncut.
These clocks got different seconds on them.
Look, I got